Poisonrana.
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking these things as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Up Next. You found us on POSTwrestling.com or Spotify, Apple Podcast, whatever podcast app you are using, or maybe you found us
Live on youtube.com/@POSTwrestling.
No, at there.
Did I say at?
youtube.com/post.
Oh, did I do the at?
It's because our Poisonrana one still has the app.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel if you did /@ post, I think you'd still.
Okay. Either way, you found us on the post feed.
Yes.
Is where you
Hello.
found us. Tuesday nights, that's where you find us. We take over and we talk about NXT because, well, who better to talk about NXT than NXT
Friends.
And we are here, Braden, Davie, the BDE. Yes, we do all sorts of other stuff over on go to Poisonrana.ca for everything that we do, including some podcasts. One little thing we've been recording since we went back on our trip, just going and going. We've got so many shows out there as well because wrestling world never really stops, and WWE gets hot. The Rock comes back. No one goes to AEW shows anymore. The world's in shambles. The world
Upside down.
Yeah, everything's crazy. So we did have a show on Sunday over on our love for The Rock coming back in that surprise.
Talking about Jade Cargill, who seems to have checked into the PC now.
Yeah. Hey, Randy was spotted.
Randy was spotted at the PC.
Randy Orton?
Yeah.
Going back
I've
to
missed
NXT.
Randy.
Yeah, what's he going to do?
Yeah, no more Riddle for the moment. I mean, it felt like they were building to him and Roman before he left, and that's something that hasn't really happened for a long time, so I can see that.
So, we talk about all the other stuff. NXT's been pretty good. There's always stuff to talk about on these shows, and they'll have the like, oh, I don't watch NXT. Someone who maybe you're not, and you cherry pick. Every week NXT has good stuff. You know, people are torn when Becky won the title last week, kind of flipping things into different.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the rating is for this week, because I definitely think last week's show with Becky Lynch could have won a few new fans from like that Ilya Wesley match and just Tiffany Stratton's performance. And I think kicking off the show this week with Becky Lynch made a whole lot of sense. And interesting who kind of stuck around. She was in the opening segment and the closing segment, so I could see it be another good week for NXT.
Becky's already got an NXT, and NXT, so maybe she's a big deal. We talked about the ratings draw too. That clearly she had she had a lot of people. NXT's biggest number in that kind of momentum. No Mercy, which is a week or so. NXT's doing some good stuff, and check out, especially some of the rest. Definitely picked up, and there's always something. Other than that, what's going on?
Not a whole lot really. Just been working a lot. Tiff's over now.
Yeah.
So I finally get a proper couple of days off in a row, which I'm
excellent.
Although we'll still be recording.
yeah.
But so just that.
You didn't see any Tiff?
No, I work pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Half an hour. Yeah, I can't say really I've got much for this.
I saw a movie today. Talk to.
Okay.
Which is the A2. Is it A24 or A24?
I don't know.
Those guys have been every movie they put out. Amazing. Everything everywhere all at once. This one pretty scary. I got a lot of recommendations. Scary and
okay.
It lived up to the hype. I really liked it. It's definitely one of my favorite ones.
Right, we'll check it out.
Would recommend because.
Will you see Nun 2?
It was playing or I saw the poster for it today, so I was like, huh. Actually, I felt like a teenager for a split second as I walked out of the movie, looked at my phone, 4:10, and as I walked out, the Nun 2 was at 4. Do I do a double header? Like, it was kind of quiet in the theater today, so I don't know, but I did not because we went to the Nun 1 and we were pretty disappointed, kind of soft.
Nun 1 wasn't very good.
No. So I don't really have high hopes for it.
But then that was quite a while ago.
I think they stepped up. I feel like they have to. I'm sure it made a lot of money.
Let's see.
The Nun, because it's spooky season.
Okay,
guys.
it's 50% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wait, the Nun 2?
Nun 2.
What's the Nun 1? Because like the Nun 1 was not good. We were like,
The Nun 24%. So it's twice as good as Nun 1.
Because the Nun debuted in one of the other movies, and that movie was better.
The Conjuring,
like 2 or something.
Yeah,
that character shows up, and that was like the movie itself. So maybe the new ones. Maybe we should give.
Like go and see it.
The Nun. You gotta rewatch the Nun 1.
I've got to watch. You know what I've got to watch tomorrow?
What's tomorrow?
Escape from New York.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, talking about some good movies. New York is being taken over by AEW, sort of, for Grand Slam, and what great timing. Visit New York and escape from New York by reviewing this classic all the way from 1981. John Carpenter and Kurt Russell. And this movie's a cult classic. Justin, our world champ family member. Is it Justin?
Yes,
yeah.
Justin.
Shout out Justin. Picked this movie and we're going to be reviewing it this week. So we're actually Thursdays. Get your feedback in if you're a fan of it. And we'll whole thing. Kurt Russell and his the guy, he's the first eye patch guy that started the whole trend of everyone wanting to wear that eye patch. So we finally get to talk about. We've reviewed way too many Kurt Russell movies, and we still haven't even scratched
and
the
quite
surface.
a few John Carpenter movies.
I mean,
as
yeah,
well.
Fair, yeah.
So,
I mean, it's in about a month or so. We'll be
coming back with Halloween 6.
Yeah.
Next month.
Who's that guy who keeps? Who's the guy who keeps tweeting us about Dr. Loomis?
It's Justin.
It's Justin,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, because he picked this movie not because of New York, but because the president is played by
Donald Pleasance.
Yeah, Donald Pleasance, and man.
Oh, so we're just gonna talk about him being pissed on wine during the filming of the film.
I watched it last night. That makes a lot more sense.
Okay.
I forgot about that. Yeah, he likes Donald Pleasance and his wine.
Yeah,
this is the kind of stuff you find on our movie reviews. Check them out. So Escape from New York's over on the Patreon this week. We did our cartoon All-Stars, which was absolutely bonkers, but we are gearing up for No Mercy next week. We're going to be reviewing No Mercy from 1999. That iconic ladder match, tag match. So we got a lot of shows coming out next few over on Patreon. So go give us a shot. It's only $5 and you get a whole month's access to everything coming up, everything in that bag. Keep the lights on.
As well as on our free Poison Rana feed, we mentioned our kind of new show we do every Sunday, but we did just put out a re-release from our Patreon a couple of years ago, Best Match Ever, Terry Funk. So go and check that out as we celebrate the life of Terry Funk.
Yeah, we love Terry Funk, so Terry Funk forever. We did this show during the pandemic, actually, and we were wrestling, and we thought we'd re-release it over on our free. For free, so if you haven't ever listened to that, go check it out. And I also listed all the matches if you want to go rewatch the matches, and they're all easy, free. And hey, you like Best Match Ever, you like free things. Well, we know how to honor wrestlers in our own weird nerdy way, and we're going to continue to do that because next week we are going to record a Best Match Ever Bray Wyatt. So I will be putting up a feedback thread probably later this week to get I'm expecting lots of feedback for this one, people. I want all your best Bray matches, moments, memories, anything. We want to celebrate the life and career of this beautiful man. So
absolutely,
yeah. Let me in.
Yeah, we've got an idea of what our playlist is going to be, but we always like recommendations as well. So let us know, what were your favorite Bray Wyatt?
From Husky Harris to The Fiend, who knows what we'll be talking about. We will be releasing that for free over on lots and lots of remembering Bray Wyatt. Lots of podcasts coming at you. Thank you very much. I'm trying to think of some other notes of wrestling. We obviously will be going live this Sunday over on the Poison. Talk about everything going on in the world of wrestling. Maybe The Rock will show up again on SmackDown and we can talk about that again because that was good. But Cena, obviously,
Cena's wrestling this week, isn't he?
He's
I think.
wrestling.
I
This
think
week?
so. Isn't he? Isn't he teaming with AJ against Solo and Jimmy?
Is he gonna do?
Did I make
this
that
time?
up?
I totally believe you, but
That's why I was led to believe on this commercial today, and
Okay.
we're getting EO versus Asuka.
okay, that sounds pretty tight. We'll be chatting about that. We'll be chatting about AEW Dynamite and everything going on there with Grand Slam this week. Looking forward to that. That show should be pretty good. And then the hype for Wrestle Dream, which is looking and shaping up to quite a packed pay-per-view.
Oh yeah,
Definitely looking forward to all that stuff. Also, we got to talk about the
that match hasn't been.
Okay, you're just making shit up.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? I'll one up you. You hear what Dave Batista's saying?
What's he saying?
I don't got nothing to film. What's going on?
Oh really?
I retired, but people didn't like
Everyone
that.
retires.
Yeah, everyone retires and comes back. Look at Terry Funk.
All right, who would you put Batista?
Batista, I don't know. Can they just come back as like managing? Well, we have to see him wrestle.
Batista, Bron Breakker.
Oh man,
I'd put them together.
pretty body type
Yeah.
there. Mindbusters galore. Yeah, I don't really like. First of all, like, do these guys like if Cena actually wrestling? Do these guys get? You have to get in shape to do, and you can't just like not do it for like a year or two and then just jump back in, right?
What about? No, you're very right.
Yeah.
But he's
Batista,
yeah,
yeah.
he can start training. He can get that ring rust off. What about
Just come back in the Rumble.
Batista and Randy versus Judgment
Right.
for the
okay.
tag title?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Like
Yeah.
Randy will be if Randy is coming back, like he'll be in good shape.
Yeah.
So he can like.
Apparently,
run
he's
stuff.
got big.
Good. Yeah. Sick. Big Dave Batista. I don't really know if that's gonna happen, but like, yeah, why not? We went in on the Rock WrestleMania chat on Sunday.
Gonna be the best WrestleMania ever.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 40 in Philly. We'll
Yeah.
have Rock. We'll have Cena. We'll have Punk. We'll have Batista. Have Austin.
What's Triple H saying these days? How's that like?
Yeah, how's that heart?
Heart? Oh fuck, not his leg. Yeah, I
How's
just
your
keep thinking of his
pacemaker?
quad. Sorry.
Sorry, Rick wrestled with a pacemaker when he was like 80.
Yeah,
How old is Ric Flair? He's old.
Like 100.
Yeah.
He's the last guy to wrestle. Did you see this meme? It's like Ric Flair is technically the last member of Evolution match.
That's fucked.
I mean, Randy better come back.
Randy will, yeah. Wow, that
Insane.
match was after Randy got injured?
I guess. I don't know.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon. Like, he doesn't have those boardroom meetings in H.
Oh yeah. No, Triple H won't wrestle. Don could though. Rectify. I
Yeah.
won't let it go.
I can't with the hair anymore. Like, no, as soon as
He
I
has
saw him
hair
with that,
now though, right?
I know, but just like, I can't.
Can he like wear the hat the whole match? Like in
Super
the video
glue it
game
to his
Yeah,
head,
just
yeah.
stick it to your head. It's fine. You'll look great. Maybe these guys will come back one day. It's maybe Batista wants to come back not because he saw The Rock showing up, but maybe he was watching ABC covered DDT Bullet Train.
Was that on the news today? I mean, I've seen the clips
The
from
clips
it.
of
Yeah.
it. Was it Suzuki was in this match? I forget who he's fighting, but Kenta Kobashi shows up. He's just sitting on the bullet train. Of course, the clips I saw of this were absolutely meant. So I'm hoping that somewhere, shape, or form I can find it in this Sunday to kind of chat about it because the match seems as DDT ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I gotta see that.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that this match was happening.
Oh yeah, the
And
poster.
when I started watching it, I thought they were on a plane.
Oh my god, that's the
And I was
next
like,
one.
what?
Oh, that's the next one. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've done the boats.
Yeah.
Planes, trains, and automobiles. Wow, holy! This
I'm
looks
sure
good.
people will bring up what was it? Was it Brock and Kurt had the
Fighting on a plane.
the fight on the plane? And then I think was it Kurt and
Vince?
Vince,
Yeah.
and then Undertaker woke up and just choked out Angle.
There's a few.
Yeah,
Kurt people just want to fight on modes of transportation. And this is pretty cool. I love the movie Bullet Train, but also like imagine being at this. Like imagine you're just a random person trying to get to work. I'm assuming they bought out the.
Oh, I would think so.
I don't think.
I think these are probably paying.
Yeah.
To see this match. Yeah.
Looked great. So can't wait to watch.
I do have the Dave quote here.
Okay.
I had my retirement match against my mentor, my buddy Triple H. It was perfect. Yeah. But right now my schedule is open, and if WWE calls me and has something in mind, I'm sure we could do. He thought that match was perfect.
You know what? I love that match. That's the nose ring match, right?
Nose ring match.
I just pretend the first 10, 15 minutes didn't happen.
Like when he fell out, when he fell out the car.
Yeah. It's his entrance,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I love Evolution, so that match, being there live was really nice. It was such a terrible match, but I love that match. The nose ring.
It's fun. It was.
Yeah, Batista should be booked like how AEW books their like legends kind of thing. Like come in, work like you said, Randy, like do a Randy, and I don't know who else he would be like teaming. I'm sure there's
like a Sting run, just do tags and
just do that kind of stuff, mentor kind of thing, and get someone.
All you need to do is hit the Batista bomb.
Yeah, a few spine busters. Yeah. Who wants to see?
I know an Eric Marcotte does.
I saw a blue Batista.
Oh yeah,
They still sell them.
the team with Blue Cane.
Yeah. Patent
GCW.
pending.
Yeah.
That guy's still kicking around, or has he been beaten?
No, I think he's like
Doing
facing
GCW
Jordan
or something.
Oliver or something on GCW.
Yeah.
Good for him.
They're doing some. We were just in Germany, but GCW's doing shows over there. That would be pretty fun. What like if people were there?
They team with WXW.
I guess I'm not sure
Right.
actually. Yeah. So what else has been going on? I'm trying to think. I mentioned that said Randy Orton were spotted. That's why he's coming back for something. But there was a few other people at the PC as well, including this whole like tryouts week of indie talent that WWE apparently are bringing in and came in for like tryouts, and some notable names were, I didn't know that Finlay had yet another kid.
I didn't realize that.
Who also is white and likes to wear studded leather jackets. Just like, what's David Finlay?
David Finlay.
Brogan.
That's the guy from Auntie
No,
Donna,
that's
is
Broden.
it? That's
Yeah,
Broden.
I was gonna say people give Braden shit all the time, like my name shit. Then I hear a name named Brogan. I'm like, fuck, this guy's gonna have it rough, man. Brogan Finlay. Another one I recognize.
Oh yeah, he looks like Severus Snape.
Richard Holiday seems one of the names. A lot of people were like, "Hey, that's pretty."
Yeah, I kind of saw his stuff in MLW during the pandemic when I was writing reports for. Good, like he's good on the mic. Yeah, he could be a good fit.
Some people I recognize. I'm a big Women of Wrestling fan. Jasmine Allure, whose real name I guess is Damaris Largo. She's someone right away. I was like, this person is a huge star in wrestling at a super young age. She will be signed by WWE right away. Haley James, Holly Hood. I told you about the truckers.
Oh, okay, right.
This is the daughter, mother trucker. So I'm also kind of cool to see her. She's been recently featured on that OVW Wrestlers Netflix documentary, which I haven't checked out, but I watch a lot of wrestling. I'm not speaking for you, but like I watch a lot of wrestling. I don't know if I need to watch another documentary about wrestling, but I will check it out eventually.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to at least watch the first episode or something.
Yeah.
As said, I've got the next couple of days off, so maybe I'll throw it on and talk about it on Sunday.
Yeah, lots of other names that are.
A lot of these sound like NXT names already.
I mean, Brogan Finlay. I hope they do change that. Sorry, bro.
What was it?
Damaris Largo, but she does go by Jasmine Gen Z
right.
on a few other people. So yeah, signing some young indie talent pop up on. We have the breakout tournament for NXT, the women's side, and maybe they'll show up here to NXT, which is pretty cool. It's fun seeing like new classes of people come in and what works, doesn't, especially when me and you we do upNXT doing this for so long. like guys like LA Knight. When we were watching it, you were saying like that. Remember, we were watching him fight Grimes, and then now he's like one of the biggest reactions of the stars. It's just sometimes it works out for these people here. And that guy's been doing it way before NXT, but like
definitely. And I feel you definitely have these kind of classes come and go, but you look and there have been so many successes. We're talking about 2014 NXT on Was Next at the moment, and majority of that cast we're talking about are featured main roster people today. Like your Sammys and some are in AEW as well at this point. But it's I like the breakout tournament.
And the way, like, I would think we get some call ups sooner. Thinking for a while, but hasn't happened too much. They are integrating things, so it is pretty good. WWE's doing some good. Call that Triple H. Should we talk about tonight's NXT?
Let's do it.
NXT from Tuesday, September 19th, 2000 and already almost.
Yeah, I know. I've got to rent, again soon.
Wake me up in September. We start with a recap of last week when Becky Lynch won the NXT Women's Championship from Tiffany Stratton, and kind of re-shows this whole thing and recaps everything. And out comes the new champ, Becky Lynch, wearing some big old sunglasses. I like Becky Lynch, but she also wears sunglasses inside, and that's something that we preach.
Oh yeah,
and practice.
I felt she's a little toned down though on NXT compared to some of the outrageous outfits we see on Raw,
which is good. Yeah, I didn't necessarily like the one with fingers.
Okay,
it looked like a butthole.
Yeah.
I liked these ones. I like me some crazy glasses.
Just go to Kensington for this stuff, right?
I went. I've literally been to a few countries and I couldn't find good glasses, and I went to Kensington and he had the greatest selection. And I said to him, I'm like, I've been to a few different countries the last few weeks, but I came back home to get shitty sunglasses for $10. So he appreciated that. So yeah, Kensington Market in Toronto for all your sunglasses. Becky, you ever come to Toronto, you gotta go.
Mine a Dollarama.
I had backup ones from Dollarama. Yeah. So, but they just look like really fake Ray-Bans.
But you don't write Ray-Ban on it.
No,
just their own glasses.
Yeah. And if I lose them or break them, I don't feel as bad as like $500 for a pair. Well, Becky's probably costed that. She comes out. The man is here. She has the title and her microphone. She says, "Here comes the man," and the man has come around, and it doesn't matter who the name. And she starts to list off some people, including Gigi, Thea, Roxanne, and a few others, and says, and starts rhyming their names with like ways she's gonna beat them.
She became Dr. Zeus here.
Yeah, everyone loves the Acclaimed. She's just rapping here.
It was more like children's story, Dr. Zeus, Cat in the Hat, than rapping. I'd say.
Becky's got bars. Someone's got to put this over a beat. She then says that she's going to be here a while, and she basically is rhyming all these different things, rhymes big time Bex, and then she basically says that she wouldn't be here, though, if it wasn't for all of you, and thanks to fans for following and supporting. And she then starts to give Tiffany like her due here, and kind of says that like Tiffany did bring it and brought it last week. But that's when Tiffany Stratton comes out here tonight, and she says like, "You're the man, but I'm Tiffany Stratton," and she's getting a huge booze here from the crowd at the PC. She says that you are a future Hall of Famer, but I'm the future of WWE, and she says she wants her rematch round 2 tonight. And Becky says, "Oh, I thought you'd want a rematch," and like I said, I'll give you that rematch. And then Tiffany kind of backtracks and calls the fans losers and says, "No, actually, I want a bigger stage, California, no mercy." So it looks like this match is set. Becky then says, "You got the rocket strapped to you, and you get it entitled just like everyone else here in NXT, but you need to be hungrier." And Becky says, "You're a better fighter than you are talker. You want to go talk for talk? Well, let's go punch for punch." And then they start getting in a huge fight here as Kiana James comes out and kind of gives Tiff the upper hand and kind of beats on Becky Lynch here. So Tiffany and Kiana getting the best of these two, which then later something else will happen that sets up a match. But yeah, we know our No Mercy match is pretty much set, and we'll learn a little bit even more about it later. But what'd you think of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of saw this is probably where they're going for No Mercy, but that's a big match. That teamed with Melo versus Ilya, that show really has my interest. I didn't particularly like the poem from Becky. I thought it was a bit cheesy and didn't make it seem particularly cool. But then when Tiff came out, I thought Tiff was holding her own against her. And I quite liked her line where she said, you've come down here because you're tired going to retirement homes finding Hall of Famers to fight.
Damn.
Alluding to a like Trish Stratus feud. But yeah, I thought this was a good idea starting the show with this. Anyone who watched last week who was interested, coming back to the main character at the moment, Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton. We saw them like facing the ring last week, and now we're kind of seeing them verbally spar as well. And I thought Tiffany showed up again.
Yeah, I think I didn't necessarily like the rhyming or the rapping of Becky Lynch, but I really liked the match last week, and I've been loving Becky Lynch on this run, and I'm excited for the match at No Mercy. We then go to Tony D and Stax backstage. They're looking at photos of all the other tag team contenders, and they say, we got to pick a team, and then we're going to do what we do best. What's that? Eat! Of course. They then say they're going to call Uncle Cesare, that famous tortellini, you know, the one with the shrimp. Stop, Tony. You're making me hungry. This is like night and day of Tony Soprano and Christopher from Sopranos here. And they then start looking at the photos. They see the Creeds, and they're like, the Creeds, yeah, they're hungry. Everyone's just hungry. The first like 15 minutes of NXT, I've heard the word hungry like 5 times. They then look at the team of Gallus and who are those other guys? Lucien Price
and Bronco Nima.
Yeah, they're like, oh, these guys, you know, they got something too. So they have to like kind of figure out who's ready to step up to the plate, and they got to find out who's hungrier. So they're kind of picking. We were kind of assuming it was going to be a multi.
It usually is.
It usually is, anyways, right?
This kind of reminded me of on like X Factor or American Idol, where the judges have the pictures of all the people they've got, and they're picking who's going to judge's house. It's like, oh, we've got Bronco Nima and Lucien Price.
Right.
Oh, they're good, but maybe not. I feel NXT's big weakness at the moment is booking the tag division, because how many of these feuds have not really been feuds. It's just been the champs. I think we had it with Gallus, didn't we? Everyone just got drunk at the pub with them and choose to have a match
for a while.
Yeah, we haven't really had a big kind of personal feud between two teams over the title. We had Creed's having a feud with GY Dyad or whatever, but when it's come to these like premium live events with the tag division, it just seems to be, let's throw everyone together. Let's have a tournament, or let's just pick. Let's go to the pub and drink. Let's have the champs pick by looking at photos.
Yeah, like why don't you could do the Dusty again. You could do some sort of tournament. You could just do a tag team goes, hey, we're on a streak. We want titles, and that's it. Instead, they just kind of are lazy. They've been like that for a while, and like even the Creeds before that, there's so much silliness with the different teams and stuff. So it is kind of odd that they just keep doing this. I'm sure any of the I don't know what team they do choose, or if it is multi-man, but just kind of weird that the tag division seems not really. It always ends up that way.
They've got plenty of teams, but it just I don't like just the champ just chooses who they're facing. Like, want something a bit more personal.
Well, the tortellini with shrimp sounds good. Ilya Dragunov is backstage with Mackenzie, and he's rocking a black suit and a gold tie, looking fresh. He's asked about his match with Carmelo Hayes and the NXT title, and he says, at No Mercy, I finish what I started, and this time the Mad Dragon will get the gold. And that's when Becky Lynch walks in and says, sorry, but hey, if you're done this interview, I need to take over. And he goes, yeah, go for it. And she looks at the camera and says, Tiff, Kiana, you two dopes, you didn't have to jump me if you wanted a match, so I'll take on the two of yous tonight. So she is open challenge, handicap match, Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton and Kiana James later tonight.
I like this. I like whenever you have someone sort of fired up and they go to the commentary desk and just take the headset off and say, and this was like the equivalent of that. Like she was worked up from the opening segment from being attacked and she wants that match. So I kind of like the bleeding of the segments here.
I did too. And I think she comes off better, more serious than rhyming before. So I like a serious Becky. Kelly Kincaid is at the Meta 4 Lounge. And this time, all of them are not on a safari. They are now the Metaphor Matrix. So the whole lounge has like the Matrix colors and the like green over black. They're all dressed
really current, right?
Yes. Maybe they're big fans of the Matrix 4. I don't know. Maybe
no one's a big fan.
I didn't even see that one.
Even that was a couple of years ago now.
Really? Yeah.
Probably. I watched it during the pandemic.
You watched it? Oh, how was it?
Bad.
Oh, okay.
It's not good. I didn't understand it. Neil Patrick Harris was there.
I didn't understand quite why that was this thing.
Morpheus was a different Morpheus.
I meant this segment. Yeah, I didn't know why they were dressed like that.
Okay, yeah. Don't get me started on Matrix.
You really hate the Matrix 4. We reviewed the Matrix 1 before.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, Matrix 1
Matrix
awesome.
1's great. I actually don't mind 2.
They're okay, but I can't say I've watched the latest one, but I'm not caught up on John Wick either. That would have been easier, but I guess the costumes, I don't know why they're dressed up like this, but they are. Which then leads to even something more confusing, which is Noam Dar's Keanu Reeves impression.
Yeah.
I don't know what this was, but Keanu Reeves, certified, I'm going to say Torontonian, but Canadian here. I don't think this sounded like him at all. He was like way off. It's like when I tried to do an Irish person, but
it was just like it was more like a trailer voice he was doing, wasn't it? Like this summer, that kind of thing.
But he was doing the Neo lines, like the red pill and the blue pill.
Well, they're Morpheus's lines.
Yeah,
but he looks like
he had the hair like he's wearing the black coats.
Yeah,
the others are wearing like the leather black coats. Like again, think of the Matrix 1. And I've seen some good Keanu Reeves impression. You just need to go, whoa.
But like he's Scottish, remember? Like it's a little harder to.
Like he did sound like more of just a deep voice American guy, but this was odd. I don't know. I was watching this. I love these guys. These guys are great. So I do give it a pass because they're ridiculous and they're trolls. So I guess that they got enough under.
It's just their thing. There'll be someone else next week.
Yeah, which I like. So keep doing it is what I'm just. This one was odd. So
who could they be next?
I mean,
week?
like I was scratching my head the other week when Chris Statlander came out as Zoolander. I'm like, okay, what am I missing here? Why is she dressed like that? This is from 2001, which she eventually got the Ben Stiller tweet reply. So that's okay.
Nice.
But yeah, whatever from 2001 or whatever is popular again. So just bring it back into wrestling and
I guess
more of that.
Is that where we're at? Like 22.
That's
retro 2001.
Oh my god. Jeez. What's gonna come back? Pokemon
never really went away.
No, it's still massive. Yeah, still huge. So yeah, the Matrix 4, he's got the red pill and he's then interrupted because someone makes their entrance. Is it Tyler Bate makes his entrance? So he's like, because they're there to watch the tournament. The tournament. Well, when we come back from break, though, Trick Williams and Dirty Dom are backstage. Dom approaches him, and Dom says, "Hey, I know how you feel, Trick, living in the shadow of someone else, like me and my deadbeat dad, and you and Carmelo." Trick says, "Man, I never was in the shadow of anyone, and plus, look at me, I don't fit inside a shadow." And Dom says, "Yeah, well, sometimes you need to think about yourself, and maybe one day you can shine like me." And Trick says, "Nothing and no one can drive a wedge between me and Mellow Gang."
I find it quite funny because there's sort of been this story on Raw where, like, I think it's Finn wants to bring JD McDonough into Judgment Day, but they're like, we're not sure. We're not sure about that. We're not sure about him.
Yeah.
And he's trying to prove himself. Meanwhile, they're trying to recruit Jay. They're trying to recruit Jimmy.
Everyone.
They're trying to recruit Trick Williams.
It's NWO.
JD's probably there like, come on, guy. It's like when what was that? Wes Lee doing his open challenge for everyone except Dragon Lee.
Yeah,
he's like, nah, it's just you can't have it.
No, Axiom.
That's it.
Axiom's like, "Hey, can I get a shot at that?" Yeah. At the end of the line. Anyways, who's next? Anyone? Anyone? Yeah, me. No. Anyone else, please? Who wants this? Yeah, that's
But
true.
they're definitely they're playing this story with everyone's planting this seed in Trick's head that like he's in the shadow, that their friendship could be coming to an end and all that. So
maybe it gets to him. Maybe he costs Melo the title.
yeah, it could be. I could see him trying to help and it going the other way in this match.
Yeah, the other way, like the opposite match. Well, we go to the next match, which I gotta say is awesome. So go cherry pick it and find it. Would recommend, which is Butch versus Tyler Bate. But to me, this is Pete. Almost said Pete Davidson. Wait, what's his name?
Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne, Bruiserweight versus Tyler Bate. A rematch. Well, I'm sure they fought a few times, but as we kind of mentioned last week, that famous
Takeover Chicago,
yeah,
and the finals of the NXT UK Championship.
Yes. So these two are no strangers to each other. British strong style mates, and here they are one-on-one in this the Heritage Cup Worldwide Tournament. It starts off with the crowd really hot for both guys, but chanting "break his fingers," and Butch takes that to heart. Just knees Bate, drops him down and starts breaking his fingers. What did he do?
Break your fingers.
It's been a minute since
it has been a while.
He starts to bend them and like just all the joint manipulation here, and then just starts attacking them. Bate fires back with his huge snap head scissors here, similar to Ricky the Dragon here. Then they start to just slap the hell out of each other. It cuts back to this like viewing room where all these guys are watching the TV screen and they're reacting. A huge superplex that's like stalling deadlift from Bate before a commercial break. When we come back, it's Pete Dunne who's just slugging him and crushing him, but ends up getting a shooting star to like the knees, the back of the butt essentially, and then a deadlift from Bate, which was really impressive. And then he gets
like out the triangle hold, right?
Yeah. Well, no, then he hits. Sorry, he like does his shooting star to the back of Dunne, but then while he lands, he then grabs him and deadlifts him. And then he gets put in a triangle and then deadlifts him to powerbomb him, which was very impressive. There's then a brainbuster, an airplane spin. There's a huge like
we see him do the airplane spin.
Yeah.
And normally he just sort of dumps him after, but this he did it into the brainbuster, which looked awesome.
Yeah, this one looked like it could be his finisher. This was pretty nasty, but Butch kicks out of this. There's like I don't know if it was like a Snapdragon or like a overhead German, but just nasty on to Butch here. But again, a kick out. There's then a Butch driver 97, which essentially steals Tyler's move here, but Tyler kicks out of that. And
this is all happening because it's only a 12-minute time limit.
Right.
So they've said 2 minutes left on the clock, and now they're just hitting each other's finishes.
Yeah, Tyler Bate counters the bitter end, just like their old match from that takeover, into a huge DDT for a 2 count. Then he hits the bitter end onto Butch, but Butch kicks out of that. There's 60 seconds left. There's the spiral tap, but the knees are up. There's a bitter end by Butch, but Bate kicks out. There's a bitter end again, but Butch kicks out of... It's the recliner. No, the better end.
The better end. So it was like a
Steiner screwdriver.
It was the pump handle that he uses for the bitter end, but turned into like the Fire Thunder driver,
Rikishi driver.
Yeah.
This move is awesome, and that is enough to put Tyler Bate away in. I'd say this match was awesome, but the last like 2 minutes were just non-stop.
So, and this is where like the drama of the time limit is pretty exciting, because you had the kick out from the bitter end with about 30 seconds left on the clock, and you're going, oh, it's going to be a tie again, and then just pulls out this super finisher, which I find it interesting that like the sit-out pile driver is still banned in WWE, but we have destroyers and like bitter ends into pile drivers and stuff.
Yeah, if he's doing this, then that means Braun can finally do the Steiner screwdriver. Like similar.
I guess so, yeah.
Right. So yeah.
But I thought this was really good. I love that not only stealing each other's finishers, but stealing, Bate doing the finger breaking, Dunne doing the bop and bang. And I think considering some of these like 12-minute matches have been really fun having it as a sprint. But when it's a match like this where you've seen them have the longer kind of 20 minutes on a takeover, and factor in that you're going to have a commercial break in there, you're going to feel a bit shortchanged. But I think they worked the clock so well, and managed to kind of make it a bit of a little epic within the short space of time. I thought this was really entertaining.
Yeah, this was great. Easily the match of the night on this show. Like I said, I would definitely recommend watching it. But I love Pete Dunne. I love Tyler Bate, and I was a huge fan of when we did get those matches in NXT and NXT UK. And kind of funny that we're still just seeing them here on NXT. And I'm kind of wondering, like, would these guys ever really be able to do this on the main roster? I know obviously Butch is on the main roster, but he's not doing too much if he's coming down here and stuff. But I'd
say he's in he's in a like pretty popular featured act.
Yeah.
But being able to come down here to kind of have the better matches, I'd say he's in a better position than Bate, who's definitely just been floating around in NXT world forever. Dunn, I have seen a bit more of an evolution with him, whereas Bate he's the one I worry about on main roster more so than Dunn.
I love Pete Dunne, man. He's so awesome, and I think he hasn't even gotten to shine properly yet on the main roster, but his time definitely will come. Love this match. Brought me back to their older matches, which I was a huge fan of. But anybody who hits a Fire Thunder Driver, it's my favorite. I always pick this move as some of my finishers. What did I call mine? The Drill White Claw. Yeah. It's one of the coolest. Anytime you hit someone like that, it looks like it's a finisher. So kind of really like that.
Malik Black in the YouTube has just super chatted us saying Noam Dar's gonna risk it all for Jade to join Metaphor.
That'd be a good segment, I'm sure. She's gonna need a new lawyer for on screen, right? She always had Sterling. Who do we have?
Who are the managers?
Mr. Stone.
Mr. Stone, yeah.
It's pretty much interchangeable.
In NXT, yeah.
Yeah.
Main roster, who you got?
The wise man, Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman.
Yeah, all right.
MVP.
She doesn't need a mouthpiece, though. That's like, she never needed a mouthpiece.
But they always put it, she had Bivens, she had
they
Sterling.
always put her with someone, yeah. I don't even know if she goes to NXT.
I don't think she does.
Yeah, I think she'd go right to main roster. We get a, someone else in the chat, R. Ryan, saying Rob Stone left Von Wagner in the medical facility. Yes, did you see? I know you saw it.
And just posing away as he's
Rob
walking.
Stone put out a tweet saying Von's okay. Saw Von, not good. He appreciates the well wishes, but he's like a model walking out.
Yeah.
Serious stuff. Love it. I do hope Von is okay.
Me too.
Von's got to come.
I was serious.
Yeah. Von's going to come back at No Mercy and table everyone.
100%.
Somebody's going to get tabled. We go next to ACS. Is this a store?
I get what? A shop? Yeah.
Is this a shop here? We're going to have to get Ron on the case,
Yeah.
who did find the trees last week. Yes. That can mean two different things, but no. Ron is this listener on Twitter who always sends us all the places that we find in NXT land. So the Monopoly board of NXT, we have like all the different places. And last week I joked about Eddie Thorpe's tree getting whipped. And Ron, I need you to find where this ACS is in Florida. Or are you looking it up now? Is it a store somewhere?
I found ACS Clothing Limited.
Because we see JC Jane and Thea Hale, and they're going shopping. Get in, bitches. We're going shopping. And that's what's happening here today. They had one opportunity to do that joke, and they didn't. They are trying on clothes for Thea. She's a new woman here, and it's basically her trying on all these more adult clothing things. Not adult like that, but like she's
only
worn
owns Chase U clothes.
Yeah, exactly. yeah. That's what I mean. So she's wearing like actual like outfits, and JC's like, oh, more leather, and then finally she says that's the one, but we kind of don't see like what she's wearing, and they say she's gonna wear it out next week, and we're gonna see the new and improved Thea Hale.
All right.
Wow. So JC Jane is taking Thea Hale shopping.
Yeah. So I assume they're going out next week. We're not having her in a match.
Well, we saw her out last week. Remember at the Knot Bar, because she's only 18 or something like 19 or something like that. Remember? Yeah.
So where would they be hanging out?
I
guess the mall again.
No. I think
she's wrestling in this new outfit.
I think they come out and talk and cut a promo, and
okay.
she says, "I'm done with Chase U," and we see basically JC's like, "Look, you want to get ahead? Dress like a."
Yeah.
That's what she's
now at Jace U, I again.
JCU.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. It's so bad. That's what she should. JC better make
Absolutely.
that joke. JC Jane, you better make that joke next week. But yeah, basically she's gonna dress more provocative. I think she's gonna turn her heel. Black lipstick,
start smoking.
Yeah,
You know,
all the evil girl things. Can't wait. We get a commercial for the Legacy WWE Legacy titles. Have you seen these? The sports teams titles.
yeah, the NFL titles.
So
right?
is it true that the Panthers pulled theirs? AEW.
Jaguars.
Sorry.
I heard something
Sports.
about that like, or they at least haven't shown it on the advertising.
Right.
Anymore.
They did not. I noticed they did not.
But I'll have a little look.
But
I'm
maybe I
sure.
was looking for Panthers.
Yeah.
We go to our next match. It is the other side of the bracket for the Heritage Cup tournament, featuring Joe Coffey taking on Duke Hudson. Now Duke has been saying that he could be the spoiler here, the bracket spoiler, and make it a three-way if he gets in here. We saw him with earlier, just briefly before the commercial, with Chase U getting him all hyped up and ready for this match.
Yeah, they literally have them all except for Jaguars.
That's the only team they don't have on
from
the site.
what I can see.
Wow. Should get one.
Yeah.
Ooh, get a Miami Dolphins one. Joe Coffey, Duke Hudson. This match starts off with Duke hitting this impressive running run, wearing their footy jerseys.
Yeah.
There's then a huge German suplex from Joe Coffey as he continues to get near falls. He goes for the best of the bells, but it's blocked. He hits this headbutt running move, which looked kind of weird.
I don't know if it's like a double palm strike or a headbutt, but it doesn't look good. And he hit it twice tonight. And I compared to like Ilya's Torpedo Moscow, where a lot of the time it looks like he's just colliding his head with the other guy.
Yeah, this one's weird.
This didn't look particularly good.
Well, he goes then for the best of the bells, but Duke counters it and rolls him up, stacking him with a 1-2-3, and the bracket is busted by the MVP, Duke Hudson, which now means it's going to be a triple threat match to determine the winner of this side of the bracket. There's so many brackets and matches all leading up for a Heritage Cup match.
Oh,
here,
yeah.
which it cuts to Kelly Kincaid backstage.
Well, I'm lost. No, it's good. We didn't talk about the match.
Okay, I just wanted to say, because we learned that now the triple threat happens later on, so we basically do get to see this. Because
I think it was kind of obvious we were going to go that way when Duke said last week that he could play spoiler. I think the fact that they've planted that idea in your head kind of tipped that we were going this way. I'm enjoying Duke, though. I think in ring as well, I'm enjoying him more and more. This kind of sort of 80s larger than life throwback character, but can do some pretty athletic stuff for a big man as well. And I think he showcases that later in the triple threat. But Joe Coffey not completely doing it for me, I got to be honest.
Yeah, didn't care for this too much, but obviously I guess it was set up to set up something for later. Kelly's with Nathan Frazer, and he says, "Let's freaking go." And he says, I'll beat both of them. And then they go, actually, we're gonna have that match tonight, the triple threat. They go through the points, and he says it's all fair, and I'm gonna win this thing.
I hate this guy so much.
Nathan Frazer?
Oh, he's so annoying. He's so lame.
Yeah,
Such a dork.
I do not find him very like he's got nothing really behind him. I can't. He's the nerdy.
He's exciting in ring, but I can't stand whenever I'm hearing him talk.
Let's freaking go.
Oh, I mean Seth, right?
Yeah. When Duke later says, "Let's
know.
go," so yeah. Mr. Stone, I mentioned the Vaughn thing. Poor him. But then we go to our next match: Roxanne Perez taking on Lola Vice. Lola kind of new here to the WWE with the whole MMA background, and finally, for me at least, getting to kind of show that off. But Roxanne, no slouch either, with some technical wrestling and mat-based stuff. Locks in a European clutch pinning combination really early in this for a near fall. Which
it was a really nice counter into it.
Lola counters it into a chokehold, showing the MMA, and then they kind of counter for counter, which was very technical and pretty good. Lola then does the Pentagon arm breaker spot, which I love the spot, but if it's not breaking your arm, then what does it really do?
Yeah, and it didn't look quite as devastating with hers, because she sort of let go pretty early. But no, I'm with you. to an extent, I feel the same about the finger snap. You're breaking their fingers, and it's never like they're selling it the next week that their fingers are broken.
Yeah.
Fingers don't heal that quick.
Yeah.
And yeah, same with the arm breaker. I feel it should just be an ending of you.
Lola is impressive with submission game though, like locking in cross faces and headlocks. Booker T on commentary mentions that she was 4-1 in Bellator here. Roxy fires off though off the top with a Thez press and some punches. She's getting aggressive, but Lola keeps one-upping her. Eventually it's submission counter for counter for counter, but finally Roxanne getting a roll-up for the 1-2-3 and kind of escapes there with Lola leaving kind of pissed off that Roxy just beat her by like a hair here. But yeah, obviously Perez we've seen in press before, but this for me was like, oh, Lola Vice is not just a pretty face here. She is a real like wrestler. I'm getting some of the wrestling vibes and the mixed martial arts coming out for sure. So kind of could see them putting a lot of steam behind her in the future.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job with this match in Roxanne just allowing Lola Vice to showcase what she can do. Roxanne really didn't have much in this at all. It was a very dominant match from Lola, but it's that kind of, you know, the smarter wrestler just catching them with a roll-up for the win. But yeah, I thought it was really giving to Lola, and she did look good.
Yeah, I could definitely see some more from her down the line. We are going to Dirty Dom versus Carmelo Hayes next, which I was shocked that it wasn't the main event, which will be the Becky spot. But when we come back, we see Eddie Thorpe, who's really pissed off at Dijak. And we see Eddie is now in the woods, and he goes to his tree, and the sacred tree, and we see flashbacks of just
Dijak fighting it, whipping
it. It's like Dazed and Confused with the paddle. Yeah, no more Mr. Nice Guy. And then the laugh too. They like slow-mo Dijak laughing. It's just great. He says, Dijak, you want me to embrace my viciousness, my wild side? Is that the buttons you are trying to push? Well, you want to call me a savage? Well, perhaps there is one inside of me. He says, you insulted my culture. My land is sacred to me. And then he goes into a bag and says, you wanted to get like this? Well, we're going to have a match, but it's not going to be any match. It's going to be a strap match. So he's challenging him to this match, which is now official for not No Mercy, but next week on TV.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, especially when they announced the gimmick that this wasn't going to be at the PLE. I actually quite like this from Eddie. I thought it was pretty goofy last week, the whipping of the tree. But I actually thought they, like, Eddie's verbiage here, I got the sense he was kind of, without it getting to a fight on race, kind of calling out Dijak for being racist.
Right.
He's like, why won't you say it? You're calling me a savage. You just won't say that word.
Yeah.
And I think that's talking about him from his roots and all this. And the fact that he kind of completely disrespected his culture and everything. Yeah, it's goofy, he's whipping a tree, but it's the act of what that tree represents. So I thought Eddie took something that was quite goofy and actually made it quite serious and something legit why he wants to fight this guy.
More sense. I think it was silly last week, but it makes more sense the words he used. He sounded fired up, so it's pretty good. I think he stepped up. I need to see him step up in the wrestling. He needs to be a bit more exciting in the ring. So in a strap match, I'm hoping
he had it in the fight pit or whatever, the blood sport, whatever you want to call it. But I think this is the match that could get it from him. Yeah,
this could be pretty good. And I would have said it should have been on the pay-per-view, but we're getting it next week for free. So definitely looking forward to this one. We
did get the Royal Rumble commercial as well.
Oh, yes.
For Tampa.
Yes. And you're going?
I think so. I think so. It said go to WWE.com now for pre-sale information, and I went on there, and I imagine a lot of people went on at the same time because it was just completely crashed.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Royal Rumble people. I heard that they're going to Tampa for WrestleMania then in a few years too.
Okay.
That's part of some like deal, maybe a new stadium or something.
Make it good for the last one.
WrestleMania, right?
Well, they had it they had it cancelled during the pandemic, and it was in the PC.
Yeah.
And then they had it the next year, but it was only like half capacity because of restrictions and things.
I was gonna say they did do it.
So they did do it there, but they haven't had their proper, like full tourism and
Sure.
full stadium, all that.
Yeah. All right. Royal Rumble. Then it's WrestleMania season, people. Roxanne walks into Becky Lynch's locker room here, and Becky's watching TV, and Becky's like, "Oh, hey, Roxanne, you had a great match there with Lola. You looking good." Roxanne says, "Thanks. I wanted to be just like you," and kind of says it's cool to see you here and to talk to you and just being in the same presence, and says, "Hey, I noticed Tiff and Kiana were kind of up in your space, and if you need a partner, I got your back." Becky says, "Thanks, I appreciate you, and you are awesome, but the man's got this all on her own." So
Roxanne's arm did look pretty red here as
Beat
well.
up.
Did you notice?
Yeah,
Like
maybe
her
from
shoulder
Lola
looked pretty,
getting submission moves on her and stuff. But yeah, damn.
So Becky just looking out for her. It's like, I appreciate it, but you just had a match.
Yeah, I don't want you getting hurt. Please stop. I got this on my own. I'm from the main roster.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like. Well, speaking of main roster, here is Dirty Dominik Mysterio, champion versus champion, the North American champion, taking on the NXT champion Carmelo Hayes, 1-on-1. When Melo is making his entrance here, Dom attacks him in the ring here and starts to put the boots to him. But Melo gets revenge, and the bell is rung, and he starts beating up Dom and getting the crowd to boo Dom and get all the reaction. Should be noted, no mommy ringside here.
Yeah.
No Rhea Ripley here. She's busy.
Which made me think Melo was going to win this, but no.
Yeah. There's then a Melo beating down on Dom. There's a fade away for a 2 count, that like leg drop, which looked pretty cool. Eventually hits the satellite face buster for a near fall as they go to commercial. When we come back, Dom is in control and hits the 3 amigos, but then eventually gets the suplex lift from Melo into the cutter, which is pretty cool. There's then a power bomb the proto bomb, very John Cena-esque, old days, the prototype kind of. Not quite a Blue Thunder bomb and not quite the John Cena like.
It was a counter from something as well, but yeah, it was more the Cena kind of before the 5-knuckle shuffle.
Dom then fires back and gets Melo draped into the ropes, which means the 619 from the Mr. Mysterio. But then Dom somehow gets thrown to the outside, and him and Melo are fighting. And somehow Dom just gets thrown into Ilya Dragunov, who is sitting at the commentary desk.
This was like thrown into his face.
Oh, man.
A lot of the time when you see it, they kind of catch him on their lap and tumble back. But this was like right in Ilya's face.
Ilya does not care. Something tells me he's like, yeah, do whatever you want. I'll just eat it. And he did. And if that wasn't enough, he gets up and he's kind of pissed at this. And Dom gets up and gets in his face and slaps Ilya.
Well, then Melo Dom throws Melo into him as well. So
Ilya's just taking these bumps.
Not even resting and just getting fucked up.
He's just like, yo, screw this. So Ilya then gets in the ring. He turns into a demon. His eyes just get all scary. And he goes into the ring and he just starts attacking Dom here and starts beating him up. He goes for the Torpedo Moscow, but it's Dom, but Dom pulls Melo in front instead. So it's Melo who ends up taking the headbutt, leaving Melo down. And Ilya's kind of like, oh, what did I do? And Dom escapes laughing when Dragon Lee shows up to super kick Dom on the ramp and holds up the North American title, because Dragon Lee actually has a match with Dom on Monday Night Raw for the North American title, which we'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, what'd you think of Champ v Champ?
I actually really enjoyed this whole segment. I think Dom has really stepped up in ring. From this match and the match he had with Dragon Lee a few weeks ago, I think he's pretty good at taking moves. His offense isn't necessarily the most flashy. Like, obviously he's just doing like both his dad's moves. But like
both his dads.
But I think the way he takes moves, he actually looks pretty good. And the stuff with Ilya on the outside was fun and like looked a little more like, all of this looked a little stiffer than you normally have with these accidentally colliding and hitting each other. I thought all were going pretty hard. And then having the Dragon Lee super kick at the end, kind of tying it all together with what's happening next week. I thought it was a really fun segment, the whole thing.
Yeah, Dom for me isn't like still, the wrestling is still okay, but when he works with guys like this, it looks good. He's good at getting beaten up, which is great for the heel character he's kind of in now, and still loving the whole character, and can't believe it's just working so well, and people just love it's part of an act. You buy tickets to go boo this guy. It's great for what they're trying to do. But Here, it didn't get to like the normal Carmelo Hayes level matches, but it was all like pretty much setting up stuff for No Mercy and the North American title stuff as well. But yeah, pretty fun. And poor Ilya just getting these people thrown into him. We see Trick Williams is watching this backstage when Joe Gacy, that creepy Joe Gacy, walks in with Young Rock, the Pebble. And Gacy says, Trick, look, we can help you. Come with us. Join the schism. And he goes, no, I'm not into no roots or trees. I've seen this movie before. And Gacy laughs and says, look, Mr. Williams, you're so charismatic. If only Mello took you up on your offer. Some best friend, huh? As they walk off. So now they're even trying to get into Trick's mind.
Drive a wedge between them.
Oh.
Ava Rain isn't good.
I don't think
Is she
so.
just Ava now, isn't she? Or Rain?
Yeah.
She's
Rain.
She's not very good on mic. And now that Dyad GYV have gone, I think it's time to just reset this act.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know, like have a change of character, have like them see the light. Now they've lost 2 of their members or something. It's really ran its course now.
Yeah,
it's like, never been particularly hot anyway, and now you've lost 2 of them. You're a cult of 2. It just doesn't really work, and I'm not interested in them recruiting anyone else. So just change it now.
Yeah, Gacy doesn't need her to speak for him.
No.
Because he's like weird and preachy and stuff. I think there's something for Gacy eventually. Like the wrestling is still good, but this is not it, not at all. Yeah.
It's been very one note the whole time. This character hasn't really evolved. Like he's changed the way he's looked.
He's got cool glasses,
but like that's about it.
Yeah.
But this was more to just still drive that like wedge between Trick and Mello.
This just reminded me though, because like seeing Ava Rain here, The Rock's daughter, show up, just reminded me of what I said the other day, which was like The Rock comes back not to challenge Roman and not to help his daughter who's in a cult, but just to come back to get angry.
Well, he hasn't helped his daughter out to act,
yeah.
has he?
Yeah, I don't know what you do here. Like we have barely seen her wrestle either, and it's not like it's been anything much. So yeah, not sure where we go with this, but it does look like the Die lads, GYV
are gone.
Kaputs.
Yeah.
Finito. So we will be seeing them somewhere else, it looks like. So, which is cool for them. I want to be happy for those guys. I think they could be pretty fun, and I'll be supporting them for sure. So there's some big dream matches of tag team matches I'm sure they could sink their teeth into. So all the power to them. So pour one out. They're not quite gone yet, so not yet. Let's not prematurely pour one out. But
pour one out.
But like I do love those guys. So yeah, Joe Gacy and Young Rock need to figure out something else. But Trick Williams is getting scared and paranoid and worried he's gonna do something that he might regret at No Mercy. We see Duke with Mr. Chase, and Duke saying, "Wow, that was crazy." Chase says, "Did you hear that place? It was crazy. Coffey is big as an ox, but it doesn't matter. You're gonna win this whole thing. You're gonna do it for the people that chase you. You're gonna do it for the people of Australia. We're gonna do this." And Duke says, "Let's fucking go." They bleep it out, but he got the real one. Nathan Frazer, he says freaking.
Yeah.
This guy says
this
the real
is
thing.
great. Duke just playing like absolutely exhausted from his first match, and now he's got to wrestle again, and he's like, I just don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. And
Sore.
Chase becoming the motivator again. We haven't seen him for a while because, I mean, that's something they brought up. Thea Hale hasn't been there for Duke's matches. When he was always there for hers. But I loved it. Like, who's MVP? I am. Who's the spoiler? I am. I thought it was pretty fun. I'm really entertained by these guys.
Duke and Chase definitely always make me laugh. It's sad about Thea. I hope we get her back.
Yeah.
We go to an alleyway, sketchy looking alleyway, where a bunch of guys are up to no good. Started making trouble in their neighborhood. They're playing dice. You ever play dice? Was this a thing in the UK? People play dice out
Playing
back?
dice.
Playing dominoes?
We have dice again, but yeah, I don't really
I've seen
play Yahtzee. You know?
You know what? Yahtzee's pretty fun.
This is very guys and dolls here, isn't it? They've got their secret location and they're just rolling dice,
Money,
gambling.
dice. Yeah, it's a Scarborough thing. I'm loving this dice playing here. We see Lucian Price, Bronco
Playing dice.
Lucian Price playing dice. Easy there, Becky Lynch. Bronco Nima, and Scripps. They're part of this group of people, and they basically beat a bunch of people. These guys try to get mad and check them, but they're like, "Nah, is there a problem? Nah," and they get rid of them. And then they have the stacks of money and the dice, and they start walking and talking, the three of them, and they say, "What do we got to do to prove it to Tony D?" And Scripps says, "Don't worry, like we're gonna show them exactly who we are." And mentions why he's with them. He says, "No one knows that we've been hungry." That's another person who's really hungry.
Everyone's hungry.
And as they're counting money, like they're all talking about how they're going to become the best tag team in NXT, and then eventually get those NXT tag titles. And then they call themselves OTM. Ooh-wee.
What's OTM?
I'm not too sure. So on the move.
Is that what that means?
I'm assuming that's just what I'm going for.
OTM.
On the moon? On the move.
On the move.
I think it's on the move. And then they say it doesn't matter what we do as long as we getting paid. Something I noticed about this. I know you'll agree with me. It's really hard counting money when people are talking to me.
Oh yeah. No, you're right.
There's no way they were really counting money.
Counting anything.
Yeah, they were not counting money. They're lying. They're all trying to talk to each other. No, you're not. You're not looking down properly. You're trying to listen. It's all you're fucking your count up.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I don't know what this is anymore. But anyways, what'd you think of this?
I mean, it was their ploy to get the money from the other guys.
Yeah. They robbed the guy. All the money's theirs anyway.
All the money's theirs.
Yeah.
Sure. I need to see them. Like, I feel I've only seen them have one match, and they're now like title contenders.
Yeah.
Which I'm a bit like, okay, I need to see more from these guys first.
I've seen,
but like the vignettes and stuff have been fine. Like right from the first ones where they're eating Cubanos as boys, and into this, I think they look good as a unit, but we've barely seen these guys wrestle.
I agree. There's no
to have them in conversation for the tag titles just seems ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think if you were doing these vignettes of like, because they've been introduced weird. They came in and just been like put in randomly. Remember their debut was just coming out and standing there for a bit. Is like kind of odd. So I think if you just had these kind of vignettes and then having them beating teams, sure, then that makes sense. But to put them in that, I don't think they will be on those.
But it's been very similar with Garza and Humberto. We haven't seen them wrestle.
No, they're supposed to come back like next week or something.
Okay.
So I don't know, but shooting dice. Yeah. You can get like loaded dice that have switched. I wonder if they were using those.
Probably
they cheated.
Yeah, probably.
Cheaters.
Got to bring your own dice.
They're heels. Yeah. OTM. We go backstage. Hank and Tank are backstage, and they're watching this, and they're being interviewed, and they say, yeah, those are some powerful dudes, those Lucien Price and Bronco Nima, but, we may be easygoing, but right now we're going to turn it up, and we're hungry, so we want to whet our appetite with these guys. So they say they want to prove themselves. Well, how about we step up to the plate?
They ain't here to eat, they're here to feast.
Everyone's just so hungry.
I think Tank is pretty good on the mic.
So energetic.
He reminds me of Matt Menard, just really over the top, but actually delivering a pretty decent promo.
Yeah.
Hank is just another dork. He's a Nathan Frazer to me. Happy to be there, and I need a bit more character because it's not really coming off Tank and rubbing onto him.
Tank is wearing like we love our NXT bootleg shirts, because I don't know if this one's necessarily on WWE Shop, but it says Hank and Tank on it. But Hank is wearing like a dad's polo shirt with their logo then on it. Like, oh man. And I'm not dissing anyone who wears polo shirts, but like, Hank, what are you doing? Hank, we've talked about your gear before, and like we're just going back in circles here. And while I'm shitting on people who wear polos, it's September 19th. For all you people who don't live in beach towns, put the toes away. Open toes.
No.
Come on.
No, like embrace as well. You know what I'm sick of is people saying it's freezing.
Oh, it's
like grow the fuck up.
It's like 20 degrees.
It's like 20 degrees. Sure, it's not 32. Oh, I had to come inside. It's so cold. It's freezing. It's like, you live in Canada. You know what it's going to be in like 2 months, 3 months time? It's going to be 40 degrees colder than this.
I'm just like,
Canadians are soft.
it is almost fall. It's not fall yet. There's still nice weather, but like if I'm at a restaurant, I don't need to see some dude's toes. Put them away.
Not a restaurant,
Yeah.
but still, if it's nice out,
It's like 2 days in a row. I was like, oh,
like
God.
I'm wearing shorts as long as I can.
Shorts, fine,
Yeah.
but your feet aren't sticking out in public. Like,
Some people like feet.
but yeah, but just it's getting, But if you live in a beach town, that's all right. That's the rules. But polo shirts with your Hank and Tank on it, maybe coming soon to WWE show.
I can't see it anywhere.
We go to our next match, the triple threat, the bracket buster, not Joe Gacy, Duke Hudson, Joe Coffey, and Nathan Frazer. This starts off with Nathan being super fast as always. He's running the ropes and running the best of these guys, kind of sending them flying. Eventually, the Gallus lads keep trying to get involved and swiping at the legs as usual, like earlier. Duke, though, and Coffey have a moment where they're just slugging it out on each other. Duke hits this huge Uranagi, but then Duke is in and drops Duke and like pulls him. Coffey like pulls Duke's like balls into the ring post here, crushing him, tries to get a near fall. There's then a commercial break. When we come back, Coffey goes for his shitty little headbutt running thing, and Duke counters the best of the bells and does the roll up exactly how he won the match earlier, but this time Coffey was able to kick out of it because fool me twice, can't get fooled again. Duke then hits the chase you elbow for a near fall, very bionic of him. There's then a sidewalk slam, and then Frazer comes back and hits like this double DDT on both guys at the same time.
Yeah, it's like the AJ Styles moonsault into the reverse DDT. Look great.
Very nice. Duke comes back with his jump into the ring into a German on Frazer, who does this overhead sell on it. This move is funny, but I know our friend WH Park just hates this move because he thinks he looks silly when he jumps into the ring to do the German, which I'm like...
He's just jealous that WH has to enter under the second rope,
I was going to say, it is kind of silly, but also every move in wrestling
Wrestling's silly.
Yeah. So I do like this. And Frazer made it look like $1 million. But does kick out of this. Eventually, Duke picks him up and hits this huge, like, power slam into a sidewalk slam for a 2 count. Very nice here. The crowd are getting very loud. And then hits another one, but Coffey breaks it up. There's then this like head Rana spike from Frazer, and then
this was not this Hurricane Rana, and Duke just sold it on the top of his head. Looked great, and just sort of stayed there for a second before collapsing. Looked awesome.
He hits the Phoenix splash on Duke, but in the last second, Joe Coffey throws Frazer out of the ring, and then hits the headbutt, and then the best of the bells on Duke Hudson. Kinda hits it and pins him, and in the upset, Joe Coffey wins this side of the bracket for the Heritage Cup tournament.
So the final next week will be a rematch from NXT TakeOver Blackpool, the main event, Dunn versus Coffey. Not the most exciting outcome.
No,
I thought we were going to be getting Tyler Bate versus Nathan Frazer, which has kind of been the story sort of building, with the fake cup and all that, and then Frazer won it, and then Tyler won the fake one and gave it back. Like, it felt like that would have been the main event. But I would assume we're getting Dunn versus Noam.
Yeah,
which I'm all for. That sounds great. But fun match. Again, I kind of enjoyed Duke here. I kind of like his hot tags, if you will. I know this triple threat, but sort of his power ups. Frazer's speed, like I don't like him on mic, but his speed is ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen anyone as fast as that. And that's like Tope he did to the outside, just so much speed. It was great. But yeah, Coffey not doing it for me.
This match was pretty fun and definitely, like, as it went on, got better and better. So I definitely got sucked into it, but was head scratching at the Joe Coffey outcome here. But I guess it kind of protects either of those next two guys for losing next week. But kind of enjoyed it. We go backstage. Mustafa Ali, he's in a suit. He's angry. He says that he is the rightful contender for the North American title. But after watching Raw last week, he says, how does this make any sense? How does the guy I beat get a title shot before me? Both of these guys are deadbeats. They're liars. And he says that he will deal with them on Raw.
So, like, Ali is kind of full heel now,
Yeah,
I'd say.
we the people.
And very... but he's not wrong.
No.
he beat Dragon Lee in a #1 contenders match to face Dom for the title, and now Lee gets a title match on a bigger stage,
Right.
in front of way more people.
Yeah.
But I see Dragon Lee beating Dom on Monday.
Yeah,
with a Rey Mysterio assist and kind of drive people to NXT. I'll see this Dragon Lee guy on Tuesday.
So then we see Dragon Lee Ali at the pay-per-view.
I think so, yeah.
Which sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay, I do see it going that way as well. So watch Raw to see Ali maybe get involved, costing Dom the title. Or maybe he tries to cost someone the title and Dom retains. I don't know. But yeah, Ali.
I still feel just Ali is miscast. They seem to always have him as a heel, and not a particularly entertaining heel. He's always just a whining, moaning, and I feel when you look at his wrestling and who he is as a person in real life, it just seems weird casting to me. And I can't say this is apparently an idea he pitched on the main roster a long time ago. Doesn't do it for me.
It's just he should be a good guy. The whole light thing, I don't know. He could have been that, but I want to see it play out. And if he's wrestling either of these guys, it'll be a good match at No Mercy. Maybe it's a triple threat, as we kind of thought it was going to be.
But we've had that, haven't we?
I
don't know.
Well, we go to Kiana James and Tiffany Stratton. They're working out before their big match, and they say that it's somewhat of an alliance here because they just don't like Becky. So they're glad that they're together. And Kiana's kind of in cahoots with Tiff. And we both despise her, and we're going to dispose her, and we're going to cause some serious damage, and we're going to see who the real champ is. So Tiffany's got Kiana helping her out. We go to Briggs and Jensen backstage. They're watching last week on the iPad. It took them a whole week to watch back this again, or they just keep rewatching it because they're so butthurt about what happened with Miles Bourne.
They're pissed at Fallon for bringing him in.
They're really angry. They're saying, you were wrong. Even Miles Bourne could have seen that he was going to turn on us. So
again, he's not blind.
Yeah. I'm kidding. He's a snake, and she starts to make excuses. She's like, well, I know he's a nice guy, but he's in with the wrong crowd and this and that. And they're like, wow, what are you doing? Like, this guy screwed us over, and you're still like on his side. Like, what? There was that moment with them last week.
She fancies him.
Maybe. This is when Baron Corbin walks in, not wearing a shirt, which makes it all weird because everyone else is wearing a shirt, but it's wrestling.
Well, no, he's been having a massage.
Yeah. Then he clarifies, can you quiet down? I'm trying to have a massage here. And basically, shut up, he says. And Briggs says, oh, you're the one who's calling the NXT roster soft, but here you are having a massage. He goes like, come on, like you wanna knock some heads, you wanna beat up? Well, let's see. You're gonna need another massage after next week. So basically, Briggs is challenging him to a match.
Is having a massage soft?
It's the softest thing. No, I mean, not really. I don't know. I mean, these guys are athletes.
It's not like he was having a pedicure or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're athletes.
Like
you should be Briggs.
All,
Briggs, get massages.
Yeah, maybe you'll, I don't know, get better.
I did like Briggs's fire though here. I thought he sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
And we've got a new drama for Jensen, Fallon, and Briggs.
They love the juicy drama with these guys.
They do.
General Hospital.
Is it going to be like is Jensen and Fallon ever going to happen?
No, that's not the story anymore.
No, I know it. I know. Like, it's moved on to Miles now,
Right.
Will we get Jensen jealousy? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
These guys have been looking for something since the Kiana situation finished,
Yeah.
haven't they? They've kind of been just floating around.
It's been, they were a good act, and now they're kind of just chilling.
So we're getting Briggs and Corbin next week, are we?
Yeah, and maybe something Miles gets involved.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing them tangle up again, but
I went for a massage the other day.
how was it?
It was good. It's nice.
Soft.
Yeah.
Did you walk around Baron? Excuse me, you're just being too
What I
darn
find
loud.
funny is Corbin is rarely topless when he wrestles. Yet for backstage segments, he's got it off.
Yeah, he usually his belly button.
Oh, he's had that covered for years. I think he was the waiter. He has that weird, kind of sleeveless thing he wears.
Right.
He's got terrible gear.
Speaking of Baron Corbin, his Burn the Ships theme is now on WWE Music.
Do you like
streaming
it?
service. It's okay, yeah. It's funny that he clearly heard the song. Hey guys, can you get me a new song? yeah, here's this song. It's called Burn the Ships. Yo, I like that. I'm going to use that. That's like Alex Riley. They're like, hey, we need a song.
Rage, is it?
No. We need to give him his own song. Okay, what's the song? Say it to my face. He's like, you know what? I like that. And then said it every week. And it's like, all right, dude. But, wrestling themes work. Yeah, I'm excited about Briggs and Jensen getting back on TV. So I need to see more of them. But I'm worried that they may lose Fallon. We see Mello, the champ, Carmelo Hayes, leaving through the parking lot. And he better be careful. He says, I've knocked down Ilya before, and at No Mercy, I'm going to do it again. Next week, I'm going to let him know where he stands. So it's a contract signing next week for the rematch at No Mercy. Also next week, Joe Gacy taking on Trick Williams, as well as Gigi taking on Blair Davenport, and the strap match.
I like Vic described it, Gigi versus Blair in a blood feud of sorts.
Yeah, he wasn't sure why we had to watch that either. Yeah, why we have to, but we do.
Looking forward to the strap match, though. I think that could be good.
Yeah, so some good stuff coming on next NXT. Leading into No Mercy, it will be the go-home show. Becky Lynch makes her entrance here for the main event, and during her entrance, she is attacked by both Tiffany Stratton and Kiana James when they're just beating her down, the two of them. Out comes Lyra Valkyria for the save, and they're beating them up, and it's turned into a tag team match. Playa. So now this match is officially a tag team match.
What a surprise.
Yeah. You think Roxanne's watching that like, what the come on, man. I offered to be your partner. You couldn't have gotten beat up. And
Lyra's fresher, though, isn't she?
yeah, it's just maybe this will cause a rift and something can happen.
Roxanne heel turn?
You never know. So this match starts off, and it's Tiffany who tags out into Kiana, and Kiana's getting beat up by Becky here. Lyra and her are doing like double teams, like leg drops and drop kick combos. Very impressive here. But eventually when we go to break, we come back. It's Becky who's getting beaten up by Kiana and Tiff, who keep tagging in and out. Eventually Kiana goes for a backflip for reasons, but then eats a boot. That's when Tiffany says, anything you can do, I can do better, because she does like 5 or 10 backflips, but then misses and gets an enziguri from Lyra, who comes in now with a hot tag, hitting kicks to the back of the head. There's axe kicks, a huge Northern Lights suplex for a near fall, and then both Becky and Lyra hit this like double guillotine. One's got one draped over there and one side and the other, doing it like simultaneously, which is pretty impressive. It's like this draped leg drop to the back of the head for near falls. Again, Stratton is in control though with Lyra, and she ends up hitting the Swanton bomb, but Becky breaks that up in the near seconds of it. There's then Becky hitting a double DDT on Tiff and Kiana for a near fall, and then goes for the disarmer on Kiana, who eventually gets out of it, but Becky tags in Lyra, not before hitting the manhandle slam, which then Lyra hits her splash, the basic bird splash.
The bird poop.
Yeah. For the win, as Becky and Lyra win the match and kind of stand tall. And after this, though, Tiff attacks her with a steel chair, beats up Becky and Lyra, holds up the title, walks off with it, leaving it there, though. Then Becky grabs a mic and says, you wanna play rough, huh? Well, how about No Mercy? We'll make it Extreme Rules. As NXT goes off the air. But what did you think of the main event?
Yeah, I again really impressed by Lyra Valkyria. I thought when she came in, her kicks look great. That Northern Lights is beautiful. And yeah, I thought it was a fun match. They replayed a few moments from sort of Becky and Tiffany from last week. I thought Kiana held her own as well. Part of me, I kind of expect Tiffany to win this back, but part of me thinks it's a bit too soon, and I'd kind of like Becky to be here for like another month or so to have a match against Lyra. And I feel like they kind of set up a match with Kiana, but I guess maybe this was it. But yeah, I'd kind of like to see her mix it up more with people there, because she definitely helps. You know, you're only going to get better working people better than you, and with all due respect, like Dana Brooke isn't that veteran who can help these people improve.
Right.
You know, Becky Lynch is. But yeah, I thought it was a fun enough main event.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily like. It's classic wrestling. We got to do the tag team before we get to the big pay-per-view match and whatever. But they knocked it out the park last week, and I think Tiff and Becky can do even better with like weapons and all that fun stuff added to the No Mercy match. Like that's a solid match that I think will be awesome. But I kind of agree. Like I'd easily just say give it back to Tiff, but Becky could make things a bit more interesting, and the views, obviously the ratings draw Rebecca ratings, so maybe they do.
Like,
keep
could
it
you
on
take this to maybe Halloween Havoc,
Sure, yeah.
or is that too far away? Like,
I mean, what else is she
In a
gonna do
month.
on the main roster right now?
yeah, I mean, then that still gives her like a few weeks to build whatever Survivor Series
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And it's not like she's not appearing on Raw as well. I just think like for it to end just next Saturday would be a bit too soon. I'd kind of like to see her have more of a run.
I agree. I'm actually either way. Like Tiff, I think winning it back could definitely like help the character and kind of proving here, but also Becky staying could mean for other fun things and other matches and stuff. So kind of either way, but either way, I'm thinking it'll be a good match. So overall, enjoyed this episode of NXT. Like I mentioned, that Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne match just was awesome. 12 minutes of some great wrestling. Some British lads wrestling, but then some other stuff like leading the stories and setting up for No Mercy. I think they're doing an okay job. The tournament has been good. I'm like the Heritage Cup matches. I'm not usually like I like the wrestlers who are in it because those are the real technical wrestlers. So the matches are really good. But the whole tournament's leading up to a match that isn't the same like stipulation. But
yeah,
I
mean it's the same as in it's still 12 minutes,
Got
whereas
you.
the rounds it's 6 2-minute
Got you,
rounds,
got
right?
you.
So I guess that's the thing.
Sure.
I've enjoyed. I like having different things.
Sure, yeah.
Like, and I've actually enjoyed this sort of Heritage Cup thing they've got going on.
The tournament's been good. Yeah, I'm enjoying seeing some of these different guys show up. Portazawa didn't really get to shine too
the only
much.
one to not get a point.
Damn, yeah.
Bless him.
But yeah, I enjoy kind of some of the storytelling as some of it can be hokey. The Trick Williams like thing is very like who's is something gonna happen with him and Mello. That's cool to see with the big storyline with Ilya and Mello. So I'm interested in No Mercy. It's gonna be pretty good with some of the matches already announced. I imagine it's Noam Dar versus Butch. I imagine it's Ali versus Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
I imagine we are getting Mello and Dragunov, Braun and Corbin, and Becky and Stratton. So already kind of shaping up to be a
Team ladder match with 18 teams.
tag team, every team
Yeah.
in it. Yeah. Battle Royal.
Yeah.
No, they'll do some sort of multi-tag
Yeah.
match too to get a lot of people on there. But yeah, looking forward to No Mercy, but pretty good episode of NXT.
Yeah. Well, that's what we thought. Let's go to the Facebook group and see what you guys thought.
Absolutely. If you have not followed us on all the socials, you should at Poison Rana Pod. But we do have a Facebook page, which could lead you to the Facebook group, the Poison Rana group. If you join, we post up lots of weird and funny memes and stuff. But we also post up feedback threads like the one we are reading from here today. Do you want me to kick off?
You can kick off.
You want me to kick off reading
Yeah.
Magan here?
Oh, I'll take Magan. I thought it was Manny.
Oh, sorry. No, I don't see where I have it because that's a top comment.
Okay.
Because I guess Magan's is the top. So you can read the first one if you'd like.
Sure. Manny from Pacoima. The rematch is official. Tiffy 2 times is almost upon us. Lots of solid matches tonight. Butch versus Tyler was great, though I think Butch needs to come up with a better name for the better end he used to win the match, because Vic was confusing me when he said the name. I kind of like it.
The better
The
end.
bitter end, and then your super finisher's the better end.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
The aftermath of the champ v champ match left me wanting to see a tag between all 4 men. I know Ilya is a face, but give me Dom and Ilya versus Mello and Dragon Lee. Next week's Go Home show looks stacked. Yes, boy. Toodles.
Thank you, Emmanuel, you legend. Okay, you can have Magan, so I'll read this one here.
Okay.
From Giancarlo, who writes in, "Hey, y'all. Don't watch NXT live, but have been listening to your reviews for the past couple of years. I subscribed around the time when Dijak used to say, hiya!
Hiya!
So thanks for the laughs doing it again lately, and keep up the good work." Wow. Thank
Hiya.
you, Giancarlo. Wow, I love messages like that.
Yeah.
They're very nice of you to say. Thank you.
Although didn't do a first time, long time.
First time
time,
in a
long
long time, Giancarlo. Yeah, baby.
And then finally, Megan, who says, Dom didn't get to put on a t-shirt, but I got the next best thing as Ilya granted his death wish. The show feels elevated with Becky Lynch being around, and with the rematch now official under Extreme Rules, which sweetens the pot. I hope NXT lasts a while. Hot-shotting it back to Stratton wouldn't be wise. She's made, and it's rare to play the two-time champion card. Looking at you, Manny of Pacoima. Dunn versus Bate felt like old times, and it was dope. The triple threat was strong, and Lyra got another rub being around Becky in the main event. Mustafa's promo tells you to never believe a politician. There's a lie hidden somewhere. Not as hot as last week, but a solid outing.
Wow. He wasn't as heated as most weeks.
Yeah. He supports the Becky win.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he was defending it last week.
Right, yeah.
Relentlessly in the chat.
As he's doing right now.
Oh,
actually.
really?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys for writing in. Of course, join that Facebook page to keep up with all the other stuff. I know some people love the Facebook. Some people don't. I was thinking if I should be starting some sort of like Poisonrana Discord, if anyone would be interested. I'm not sure, because I know people don't use Facebook anymore, and vice versa, and maybe Twitter's going to start charging everyone, and things moving around. So if there is any interest, let me know. And
just write your feedback into us. PO Box Poisonrana Post Wrestling.
I did that. And shout out Rob for sending me BSK stickers, who I sent some Poisonrana stickers out in return. So thank you. But yeah, you want to send us gifts, Amazon wish list? We'll send you.
I meant feedback.
Oh no, you can just send us shit. Yeah.
Every week we read back feedback from like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, just make sure there's cash in the envelope.
Yeah,
we'll read it on air for sure. Follow us on all the socials if you haven't already. We will be live on Sunday at around 2 p.m. to chat everything else going on in the world of wrestling, Grand Slam, and some SmackDown and everything else. And follow our personals. I am Braden Herrington. I am at the Brady.
And I am at Davie Portman.
We will chat very soon at Poisonrana.ca for everything else that we do. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And I don't know about you, but I'm hungry.
Let's feast. Ahoy!
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking these things as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Poisonrana.